Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. As I say, it is about to go down. And like Liverpool has a slogan that they will never walk alone, Rigathi Gachagua is not going to go down alone. We are only counting hours because the impeachment motion, it is now confirmed that it will be tabled on Tuesday tomorrow. But Rigathi Gachagua is fighting it out. Yesterday, when he held a meeting with journalists, he was confronted with one question. What is the motivation behind your differences with your boss? Because if anything, you had promised that there would be no such differences. Having borrowed from the relationship between William Ruto himself and his former boss. Why is it that only 2 years into office, you don't seem to be reading from the same script? What is the main problem? And regarding Gashagua's answer is one that is well thought. And regarding Gachagua is intentionally burning the UDA house. Like he says, he listens to the ground. He says every politics is local. And this time round, he has decided to spill the beans. He says he's a truthful man and he will not hide anything. And I want us to listen to him.
Yet to your truthful young, utuambie ukweli, shida yako na the president inatoka wapi?
Mimi sijui kwa sababu Wakenya wanaona. Vile umesema Wakenya wanajua. Hali hiyo shida hiyo mswada inatoka. Wakenya wanajua. Natoka. Mimi sijui president shida yake na mimi ni gani. Lakini mimi najua watu wengi sana karibu na yeye hawataki mambo yangu kwa sababu ya kusema ukweli. Juzi nimekuwa pale Kitale. Huyu mheshimiwa senator anaitwa Onyonga akaongea mambo ya ndani, akapiga serikali sana. Mimi sikusema kitu, nikanyamaza. Mtu mmoja ya serikali tuko naye akanipigia simu kunisomea, kwa nini hukutetea serikali? Akasema siwezi tetea kitu sijui. Nitatetea namna gani? Mimi siko hapo. Hizo vitu ndio naletea mimi shida. Kwa sababu angetaka niende pale nianze kugangana na senator kusema hii Adani iko sawa. Sasa mimi nitasema iko sawa namna gani? Mimi sijahusishwa, sielewi na nikisikiza Wakenya hawaitaki, na mimi ni mtu ya watu. Mimi ni mtu ya watu. Kwa hivyo mimi kuna yale mambo ambaye ninaamini, ambaye mimi ninatetea. Mimi natetea ile kitu ambayo iko sawa. Ile inafuatana na katiba na sheria. Ile ambaye inafuatana na ile ahadi tulipatia Wakenya. Ukiniambia nitetee ubomoaji ya manyumba ya watu siwezi, kwa sababu mimi mwenyewe kwa mdomo yangu kwa niaba ya rais pale Kasarani niliahidi wananchi ya kwamba katika utawala wetu hakuna siku tutabomolea watu bila kuwapatia makao.
Before we look into the sentiments of Rigathi Gachagua, allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel if you are watching us for the first time, and don't forget to click the notification bell. It will allow YouTube to notify you whenever we release a video like this, and please help us share videos and give this video many likes. Thank you for your continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, before we dig deep into Rigathi's sentiments, because this was very intentional, I have always maintained that all these choreographed plans are baseless, and even the charges against Rigathi Gachagua. If you ask me, I'm not a lawyer, I'm just a Kenyan, and I've read the constitution, the threshold that under which you can impeach a deputy president, and it falls short of that glory. But it is also a waste of time, and it is a diversionary tactic. I want you to listen first to Eric Latif of Spice FM when he confronted one of the UDA officials, and he was telling him, tomorrow, Tuesday, as you are all jumping over the moon that you want to impeach Rigathi Gachagua, members of the UDA and Kenyans and the people who voted you in are asking questions. They have got more bigger fishes to fry than watching you, wash that linen and waste their time with Rigath's impeachment. Can you take a look?
You are head of public affairs in UDA, right? Can you tell them that they are in office, that it's the 30th, they have earned a salary, right, of 500,000 shillings each of those people I've just mentioned, from the people of Kenya, from hard-earned taxpayers' money. Can you tell them that it is nonsensical what they're doing, just like you've said it? Can you tell them that what matters is the issues that matter to the people of Kenya, that tomorrow they want to know how they go to hospital?
Yes.
That somebody wants to know how their child is going to go to TVET or university tomorrow. That a person who lost, because that's what we'll be discussing in the next hour, the people who've lost their children, their loved ones, their parents, they want to know who killed them or where they disappeared to. That the 400 plus people who have listed their names and said, we have a missing person and we think they are in these grounds of Shakahola, they want answers.
You will agree with me that everyone has got a convergent view. We agree on one point, that Rigathi Gachagua is not an angel. He's not impeccable. He's got his faults. He's human. But then what pains many is the fact that now we have sanitized William Samoei Ruto. We have sanitized the president. He is now impeccable and Rigathi is incorrigible. That is how people want to put it. While we understand that if we were to talk about corruption, all of them would be tainted. If we would talk about wastage, we would talk about tribalism. There is nothing that Rigathi has been charged with that you can not find in the office of the president. Many feel that if these people have to go, let all of them go home, because there is no need of robbing Jack to enrich Peter. You cannot steal from the left pocket to fill the right pocket. That is the reality. You cannot tell me that today Ruto ni mweupe kama pamba. It can never be. But ladies and gentlemen, why did Rigathi Gachagua decide to spill the beans? You all know that Adani deal is the new talk in town, and many people are saying that maybe we are so much given airtime about the Rigathi impeachment so that we can forget the Adani deal. Maybe we will wake up after Rigathi's impeachment to find out that the deal had been signed. What exactly is happening? And I want to try and scrutinize, try and figure out the choice of words, the choice of that answer was very significant, politically speaking. Number one, Rigathi has decided that he will not go down alone. He is going down with Ruto. Because from the sentiments that I've had, this is a joke. At one point, we were being told that Ruto calls Rigathi in State House and he tells him, I want you to resign. How? They campaigned together. They spent, Rigathi has invested his money, his emotions, and everything in UDA, and they campaigned. And William Ruto used Rigathi Gachagua even to clash with Uhuru Kenyatta and some of the Mount Kenya fraternity. Now Rigathi Gachagua is busy begging. He's made Rigathi to look like a fool. And Rigathi the other day said, I'm a fool. So Rigathi feels the pain, how he has been misused. But that is the order of politics, betrayal. So he's saying, I'm not going to go down alone. If I have to go, then I'm going to spill the beans. I'm going to expose William Samoei Ruto. In a way, he's saying, this is it. Ruto is stealing because people associate Adani with theft. One of the highest haste that we've ever had in this country. In fact, if Adani deal goes through, it will be more than the golden bag in Moi era. It will be more than Anglo-leasing in Kibaki era. So Rigathi is going down, but is not going down alone. And he means it, because one thing I like about Rigathi Gachagua is that he's courageous. Rigathi is not Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru was a bit calm. He was a bit passive. And that is why he left, he allowed William Ruto to traverse Mount Kenya. With Rigathi, he will go down, but Murima Konayo. Number two, Rigathi Gachagua is acting Ruto script in 2022. Immediately, we after the 2017 elections, William Ruto had set his eyes on the biggest prize, to become the president. And he knew very well that betrayal forms part of politics. And when he realized that Uhuru was not going to hand over power to him, he decided, even though I don't know which one came first, Uhuru says Ruto started running ahead of his time instead of waiting for him to hand over the baton. But William Ruto decided to tell us that he had been pushed to the periphery. He was never consulted. He was never the deputy president, notwithstanding the fact that he was still enjoying the privileges, taking home huge salary, enjoying security and secretariat and drivers and everything. But he was telling us that he was not the deputy president. The usual narrative to hoodwink Kenyans, because these people understand that we are gullible. So that is what Rigathi is doing. He's acting Ruto script. You saw him in church yesterday being prayed for, and Kiomburi, I don't know whether I pronounced it well, the member of parliament for Juja constituency, was crying loud to whip people's emotions. That is exactly what William Ruto did. And so he is perfecting that Ruto script. Everything that William Ruto did, whether he did it to Uhuru Kenyatta, whether he did it to Kenyans, Rigathi Gachagua is acting it, and acting it very perfectly. Number three, Rigathi is only but trying to justify his innocence. He's saying, I don't know anything about Adani deal, and I don't want to be part and parcel of it. And I've seen Kenyans rejecting it. I don't want to be part of it. I'm innocent. And that is, he wants to present himself before us kama mtu ambaye ni mweupe kama papa. I don't know who and when who baptized Gachagua and when he was baptized. Because I remember in the Finance Bill 2023, Rigathi supported it. He even warned the opposition that don't even imagine that you can oppose this deal because you don't have the numbers. And he rallied the support of Mount Kenya members of parliament, and they passed it despite the fact that Kenyans never wanted it from the public participation. But today he's telling us that he knows that Kenyans did not want the Finance Bill 2024, Kenyans did not want the Adani deal, and so he's presenting himself as that innocent guy. I don't know whether Rigathi is innocent. If you ask me, all these are politicians. They know how to survive. These are all but survival tactics. Rigathi wants to whip emotions of Kenyans, and he wants us to believe that he's fighting for us. Do you believe Rigathi is fighting for us? Do you believe he's fighting for Kenyans? Or is fighting for his survival? Let me put it this way. If William Ruto would convene a meeting today and say, I don't want Rigathi to be impeached. Let's say he let all the Kenya Kwanza team air their emotions, air out their sentiments, and everyone is saying, let us impeach this man. And then finally, when he stands to crown it off, he says, Rigathi is my deputy president. We fought hard with him. We will still stand with him in 2027. Rigathi is going nowhere. Do you think Rigathi will still remain the same? It is about interest. And yet he wants to show us that he's fighting for us. Politicians will never fight for us. That is one thing I can assure you. This is a fight between these two people. They are more secrets. There's more than meet the eye. And I reject this narrative that Rigathi is fighting for us. And as Eric Latif puts it, we need to start interrogating this team. They should be telling us about Adani deal. We should be talking about the funding model in the university. We should be talking about the cost of living, not wasting time by all these headlines about Rigathi Gachagua and his impeachment. I mean, Kenyans deserve better.